to another Tidbits from the Road. It's been a minute since I've done one of these, but I thought I'd take an opportunity to do something that I haven't generally done, and that is burn some dinosaurs in a gas car. If you've been following my Twitter, you know that this lovely vehicle is my wife's brand new 2021 Honda Pilot. And I thought in the context of this show, since it comes equipped with their Honda Sense, I think is what they call it, but they have their version of Autopilot, that I kind of give you a little review of, another company's, kind of suite of driver assistance and safety features, since I have some firsthand access to it. And it's a brand new vehicle. It's the latest model possible, and we bought it with 19 miles on the car. So I thought I'd get into it real quick, and kind of discuss a little bit. First off the bat, I gotta say, one thing that I have poo-pooed for a long time are the folks that are pining for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support in Teslas. And having now hooked up my iPhone to this car and having that experience, while Tesla is far and away the best infotainment system in any vehicle made by an OEM, it does not compare to having Android Auto. Well, I'm assuming Android Auto is the same experience as Apple CarPlay because I'm on the iOS side, but they do the same thing, right? And this is amazing. I had a Zoom call that I had to take while I was on this drive before I started this, and being able to control the Zoom app instead of having to look down at my phone and take my eyes off the road, to mute and unmute and all that fun stuff. Even if I was in the driving mode, you still sometimes can miss that button, where it's a little more eye level here on the infotainment, and just generally having that actual application control at your fingertips instead of whatever interpretation of that control is. It's a world of difference. So that's the first thing I've noticed is if Tesla ever saw fit to bring CarPlay or Android Auto, at least in the form of the entertainment side of things, if not like anything else, and maybe that's your way into the app ecosystem, is it kind of divorces the car from being the security issue. You're sandboxed in this CarPlay thing, or this Android Auto thing, maybe, because from a security standpoint, for me, allowing third-party apps on the car is just an awful idea. And again, IT security is what I do for a living, so I have a bit of actual professional oomph behind what I'm saying here. I would not want them to do that. Just look at what's happened in the Android and Apple ecosystems, even with overseeing their stores. Now, granted, their stores are massive things that it's pretty impossible to not have something slip through, but humans are still humans regardless of how many or how few apps there are to review. But I digress. So yeah, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, if that gets implemented, heck yes. So let's go to the driver assistance stuff here. So it's kind of cool. One of the things I actually wish that Tesla would do, again, on the Autopilot side, is if you wanted bare bones cruise control that's not adaptive, I wish you could do that. And especially in instances where the Autopilot system sometimes will fritz out on you and say, nope, Autopilot's not available. And because of that, the adaptive cruise control, because I'm reasonably sure this is the reason they're doing it, but I have no official authority, because they can't trust the car to judge the distance, they totally disable your cruise control too, and you're stuck with squat. And what they didn't want, what I'm assuming they don't want, is a driver to believe that they have adaptive cruise and don't, and not know it and then crash because of it. So I really wish Tesla would implement a straight cruise control mode in the event that for some reason your driver assistance is unavailable, whether that's camera occlusion, radar occlusion, whatever. That would be a pretty nice feature, and this car actually lets that happen. It's one thing I'm really happy about, because, and again, for a different reason, same feature, different reason, some folks just aren't comfortable with the car controlling what's going on. Now, everyone listening to this or watching this video, and myself included, we're all, obviously wanting the car to control everything and for everybody, because it'll do it better. But as I'll get to here in a bit, not all of these driver assistance systems are created equal. So again, having that option isn't the worst thing in the world until we get to a point where, I think it was Whole Mars Catalog that pointed it out the other day. He posted a picture of a manual toothbrush, and that the manual toothbrush was what they were calling out, because it's normal to have something that's automatic now. And the same thing with driving. You would point out manual driving instead of automatic driving by the car, because that would be the thing that is not the norm. And when we get to that point, that's where, the car should be doing the work. But again, as I said, not all these systems are created equal, and that's what I'm going to kind of go into here. So yeah, they have adaptive cruise control, and they have their lane keeping assist system that are independently, just like Autopilot versus TAC. The systems can be independently enabled and disabled from each other. The lane keeping assistance system on this car is no Autopilot. It is truly a lane keep system. It is not meant to drive the car for you. If you do not actually drive the car, you're going to ping pong between the lanes, because all it's going to really do is steer you away from the edge of the lane. And it's funny because it also has lane departure warning. The car itself will steer itself into a lane departure situation, pull itself back, and then into another lane departure situation. And it's kind of comical because the car should know better. It should be keeping within the lane, but it's not. So it also still gives you the hands-on steering wheel warning as well. So unless you have something like you go grab a Comma.ai system to add on to the car, there's no way I would tell you, like, it is not Autopilot where the car is absolutely doing the driving and you're the backup. It's the other way around, at least in this Honda Pilot Touring Edition. You are still the driver. The car is backing you up. And it's one of those situations, I know that GM Super Cruise is different, obviously, but some folks will want to tell you, like, Nissan's ProPilot Assist, or, this Honda Sense system. They'll try to tell you that, oh yeah, this is just like Autopilot. And at least for my experience sitting in a Honda, I don't have the Nissan experience, but these things are not the same thing. All they are is a very dumb, rudimentary system to keep you in a lane. It is not smart in any way. It is not trying to figure out, oh, there might be a curve coming. I'm gonna, see that that's coming. And actually, that's another thing to point out too. The car display, unlike with Autopilot, telling you exactly what's going on and exactly what the car sees at any given moment, the car display, at least here, is not good. And it shows you that the systems are enabled. It will tell you whether it detects a car in front of you, so that it might need to back off on the adaptive cruise control. It will tell you if lane keep assist is not working, which is kind of an interesting thing, because kind of like turning on the main cruise control system in a standard car, you can do the same thing with lane keep assist here, where lane keep assist is activated, but it's not actually working. So you told it, hey, I want to use lane keep assist, but it's not doing any assisting. And at least the UI on this is, instead of having some dashed lines on the side of the car, you'll have, actually it's doing it right now, instead of being filled in, the lines will be like little just squares rather than filled in blocks showing the road. There's no animation, no nothing, no indication either that lane keep is not active. Like when I just told you, I said, oh look, it's blinking at me, or not blinking at me like to say that it's off, but I saw the line markings disappear. So that meant I didn't have any lane keep, and I had no notification that was the case. So yeah, again, not all of these systems are created equal. And anyone that wants to tell you otherwise is blowing sunshine. I'm not aware, again, other than Super Cruise, of any car you're buying that has anything approaching Autopilot's capability. So if I'm wrong on that, actually, please do let me know, because I'm interested. This technology fascinates me. Like, we all need to have this technology, whether you're in a Tesla or a GM or a Ford or whatever you happen to buy. You know, obviously I happen to be a Tesla fan, and our family is low-key Honda fans. That's why we own this Pilot now, because Honda has treated us well in the ICE world. If they ever build an EV worth having, we'd probably be on board with it, as my wife's car, at least, even if it's not something we would go on trips with for obvious reasons. But yeah, we all need this automation, this self-driving technology that is going to save lives in the end. No matter what vehicle you're driving, everybody has to get there eventually. How quickly you get there, we'll see how that goes. It seems like it's a two-horse race right now, with one horse way out in front of the other, despite some folks' opinions. Because, quite frankly, Super Cruise, while working, ostensibly works well where you can use it, but not being able to use it on all roads is not, it's not a starter, in my opinion, personally. And that just kind of is what it is. So, alrighty, that's it. I thought I'd give you. I mean, obviously, you know, other than it having a gas engine powering it, the experience in this vehicle has been great. And actually, if it's done anything from a Tesla standpoint for me, I took my wife's car today just to be able to experience the lane keep system in the car. If it's done anything for me today, you know, you guys have heard me complain in the past that my Model S, you know, the only thing I regret, other than not having the newer tech in it with my Model S, is it's just a big vehicle. I'm not used to it. You know, I'd rather have small vehicles. But one of the reasons this vehicle won out over the Model Y is because of our family. We just needed a bigger vehicle. And I kind of always said, you know, I'd really love to have a Model X from the awesomeness standpoint of the vehicle, but I hate driving big cars. At least so far in the trip that I'm taking right now in this car, it's been an enjoyable ride. I haven't really been annoyed by having the bigger car. So I guess we'll just have to see how this plays out more. Whether or not because I'm going to have to do a little bit of in-town driving with this, whether or not this continues this way and I start to get annoyed by it, or whether, hey, yeah, this is not so bad. Because what I discovered when we were picking this car out is, when I do eventually replace the Model S, I don't know that a Model 3 or even a Model Y is for our 5-person family, because we take my car everywhere because it's electric and we don't want to burn gas wherever possible. And previous to this, it was also the more comfortable car, because, man, we really had to jam people into my wife's Crosstrek. And having, this is technically an 8-seat capacity, an 8-person capacity. You can fit 8 people in here, yeah, Comfortably, maybe not so much, but I'll tell you what, it definitely seats five super comfortably, and that's it spoke a lot to me when I have to think about replacing my Model S, because I just don't think a Model Y, for what my family needs, is going to get it done, because I'm 6'4", my 10-year-old son is already almost able to look my wife in the eyes, and he's a 5th grader, so it's very possible that my giant family, it's just not like, it was funny because we were trying to, with the Model Y, we had our car seat with us, and we were trying the configurations in the Model Y that made sense, where, okay, well, if we put the baby in this seat and the middle child in this seat and the oldest child in this other seat, we could have made it work, but whether people were actually comfortable in there, that was going to be another thing. And actually, that's probably going to be my biggest critique of the 7-seat Model Y. Yeah, there's 7 seats. It's great that was an option, but if you truly need to have 7 seats, I don't believe that that's your car. I believe the Model X is really going to be your car, if you need more than 5 seats in there for any more than the occasional thing. And this is funny because this might sound a bit contradictory, but the Model Y, if you're buying a Model Y, I don't see why you wouldn't get the 7-seat option. And it's for that exact reason that, hey, having the option, if you really had to stuff 7 people in there, for one, like a one-off or two-off type thing, not that your family requires it, but you just want that ability in case you needed it, like for $3,000 of peace of mind, and especially because those back seats fold down flat, and you can treat that thing as a 5-seater all the rest of the time that you're using it. That's what I would do if I were in that situation. And in fact, it was what I was going to do for a while until we had this little exercise. Is, hey, my next car was going to be a Model Y. I'd order the 7-seat. We'd have it available if we wanted to, yada, 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 so on and so forth. But, yeah, if you need all the space, of that car, you need that seating capacity consistently, and you care about people's comfort, you're probably going to want an X. That's on the Tesla side, and that's what's going to boil down to me. I think, as much as I never thought I'd say this, my next Tesla might be a Model X, not a Model Y or a Model 3, and that's not what I anticipated at all. Quite shocking to me to come to that conclusion. So that is it for this episode of Tidbits from the Road. I hope you did enjoy the little sidetrack comparison of driver assistance systems versus Autopilot. If you like the show, the content, please do click the subscribe button. That helps me out. That's the free thing you can do. Like this video and subscribe. Free things you can do that help the show. If you'd like to go a little more above and beyond, then please do check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. As you'll see, if you're at some of the upper levels, at the end of the show, you'll get your name called out on a card at the end of the show. Thanking you for your support, and thanks very much in advance to those super patrons that you will be seeing at the end of the show here. So that'll wrap it up for this one. I didn't have my full gear, so this is recorded strictly from my GoPro, and I don't have my extra lavalier, so I do apologize if the sound isn't completely up to the normal par. We'll get back to the lavalier setup when we can here, but I had an incident with my lavalier that I'm going to have to replace it, so unfortunate here, but I wanted to get this video out because I thought it would be good content for you guys to check out. So that is it for this version of the show. Hopefully we don't have to go so much distance in between Tidbits from the Road in the future here. The pandemic has kind of done that to us, so do apologize for that. Content doesn't flow as freely as it normally would have when I don't have the drive that I used to have all the time. So for the 4th time trying to sign off of this thing, I'm going to sign off now. Take care, everybody, and until next time, keep it charged and hit the road.